Nobody told me the amount of sex we're going to be having in this marriage. Why? Some of you, it's too much. It's too much. You talk too much. Shut up. Shut up. Your marriage is not gist. Some of you have turned your marriage to gist. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, you're welcome. My name is Tinike and I film about food, lifestyle, faith, and all those sweet and yummy stuffs, okay? Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things I have learned in 10 years that I have been married. I did one for the single ladies where I shared 10 things that I wish I knew before I got married. If you have not watched that and you're a single lady watching this one, go watch that one first. And even if you're a single lady, you should definitely watch this one. This is, especially if you plan to get married, this is definitely going to help you. So without wasting much of our time, I'm going to go deep into this, into each point, okay? So grab your popcorn and your chair, get comfortable. Let us talk. So I've listed all the points on my phone. If you see me looking up and down, it's just because I need to get my points to the T. So number one point that I wrote here is the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to marriage, and it is sex. Yes, we are going to break it down. Sex in marriage, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking of sex outside marriage, okay? And I said sex is like the biggest elephant in the room because if you notice, there is a lot of infidelity in marriages. Men are literally stepping out of their marriages. Even women these days, guys, even women these days are stepping out of their marriage because they don't feel sexually satisfied. Okay, so we're going to talk about sex in marriage. You know that saying that our parents used to tell us when we are younger, like don't rush and have sex, don't have premarital sex, that you have sex in marriage, you go even tire. They were not lying. I mean, nobody told me the amount of sex we're going to be having in this marriage. Why? I kid. But let's talk about sex in marriage. I have learned that sex is a very important factor in the success of your marriage. And not just sex, sexual satisfaction. Ensuring that you and your partner are sexually satisfied is number one goal in ensuring that your marriage is gonna be successful. A lot of people, and I know that there are men that just like to do walkabout, okay? That is, I don't even know, we're not talking of those people now, we're talking of normal people, okay? Right? Sex is very important in your marriage. I saw a video from Vicky James online when she was advising her sister-in-law, and she said, never deny your husband of sex. No lies. As a woman, never deny your husband of sex. As a man, never deny your wife of sex, okay? Sex is not a tool, and I think that's one of those things my husband has taught me. Sex is not a tool. Sex is not something that if your husband annoys you, you withhold it from him. No. I think a lot of women use sex as a tool, like if you upset me. No, I'm not saying that you guys should be having sex while you're having, as in when there's a issue to be resolved. No, but a lot of women withhold sex as punishment for little things, basically. Something like man did not give you money to do something that you wanted to do, you withhold sex. Why? Sex is a determinant of the success of a marriage. I'm not even joking. And another thing I want to tell you as a woman, as a married woman, is that you should understand your body, right? And I think in 10 years I've been able to, I'm still understanding my body, but literally you and your partner should sit down and understand your cycle as a woman, okay? A lot of women, when they are ovulating, when you're under your ovulation period, your libido is here because all your body wants to do is get you pregnant. So your hormones are released to, to get you there, all right, to get you pregnant. So your libido is very high during that stage of your ovulation. Maximize that period of, that period of ovulation, maximize it. Even if you are not trying to get pregnant, just maximize it. Obviously, maximizing. Now there's the luteal phase, that's after ovulation, and me personally, I have noticed that when I'm in that phase of my cycle, my libido is lower, and that's because of the hormones that I release during that period. Progesterone, it can reduce your libido. So it's very important for you and your partner, your husband and wife, husbands, understand the cycle of your wives. Wives, understand your own cycle, understand what is common to you in that cycle. So during my luteal phase, I don't know, I don't really always feel like, but does that mean I don't do? No, that's not what it means. I'm just saying that I'm not always there, right. I'm not always there. The libido is always low during that period. So me and my husband will understand it. So basically, I'm saying that understand your body, understand your cycle, understand where you are at. If you feel like it's the ovulation period or there's a period in your cycle that your libido is always the highest, capitalize on that, during the months, right? Capitalize on that period. I obviously know that there are times that as a person you'll be tired. Obviously, your spouse can see that. They can see that, or you're not feeling fine. They can see that. But, just not giving your husband or not giving your wife sex for any ridiculous reason. Some people just decide in their heart that they don't want to have sex. If you have any reason to abstain from sex, you have to discuss it with your partner. You cannot just unanimously take a decision that you're not going to have sex in marriage. And I feel like if you and your partner are sexually satisfied, what are you people looking for outside again? Also, I feel like another reason a lot of men have side chicks is because, see, I'm not making excuses for men, no, please, God forbid. But I'm just saying that a lot of men and women, because women now cheat a lot. Women cheat a lot. If you read stories online, you know that women cheat a lot. A lot of women are complaining that they're not sexually satisfied. Why are we not communicating this to our partners? Do you understand? If you are not sexually satisfied in marriage, communicate it to your partner. Communicate how you want them to touch you or do whatever it is that they need to do to get you to where you are supposed to get to, Communicate it, and both of you should work together in unison to just find what works for both of you. A lot of reasons why people will be shy to tell their husband, to tell their wife that, no, do it like this, do it like that. But they can go and tell a woman or another man outside how they want to be touched, how they want to be loved, how they want their spouse, how they want the people to do it. But you cannot tell your husband. There is no shame in this thing. This is 2024. This is somebody you're going to spend the rest of your life with. There is no shame in this game. It is you and your spouse. Open your mouth. Touch me like this. Teach them. If you feel like this is how you like it or how you want it. Obviously, we're not talking of pervertic rubbish. We're talking of right? We're not even talking about. Teach them. Let them know how you want to be touched. Oh, I don't enjoy it this way. Why don't we do it this way? I like it like this. Why don't we do it like this? That is it. Why do you feel comfortable telling a side chick to do this and do that, but you cannot tell your wife at home? Why? It makes no sense. And I feel like men are shy to tell their wives what they want, when it comes to their sexual needs. But they can tell somebody outside. Women too are not communicating. They don't want the man to see them like a baddie. You are a baddie for your husband. Yes, you are a baddie for your husband. Yes, I'm really taking my time to talk about sex because, see, I have learned in 10 years that sex is one of the most important determinants of the success of your marriage. There's nobody that can stay with forever and be sexually deprived and be sexually unsatisfied. Why? Why does anybody have to go through that? Okay? Sex is very important. Don't deprive your spouse of sex. Tell each other what ticks your box, as in what ticks you, like what makes you tick. Tell each other. Right? And work together in unison to satisfy each other's sexual needs and desires. It is very important. I have had to learn it myself. Also, like I said, learn the cycle of your spouse. Just learn it. It will really help you. Like I said, my luteal phase, I am not there. So I will still give in, but I might not give as much as I would give in another cycle of another period of my cycle. Do you understand? So men, learn the cycles of your wife and work together, to just make it work for you guys. So sex is very important in a marriage, and I have learned this. Okay? I've had to learn this. Number 2 point, or the second thing that I have learned is relating to children. Now, I know a lot of people might not agree with what I'm about to tell you, but your spouse comes before your children, your child or your children. Yes, your wife comes before your children. Your husband comes before your children or your child, whichever one. Just know that on the scale of preference, this is your spouse. Next up is your children. No, your children do not come before your spouse. And I think that is the reason why it seems like sometimes when people have children, there just seems to be that divide. Your spouse comes before your children. Currently, I have this thing that we do in my house. Like if I'm talking to my husband and my children are trying to butt in, I'm like, hold up, let me finish talking to your dad. I will come to you. Especially if it's not something important. You know how children will just be like, hey, I remember something. The fly flew over the fence. Like all those ridiculous things sometimes. And they're trying to butt in when you're having a conversation. We tell them, hold on, let me finish what I'm saying to you. That sometimes I may not finish the conversation, but I will finish that line of thoughts before I'm like, okay, yeah, what's up? What do you need? Your spouse comes before your children. Does that mean you're not going to be a good mother or a good father or take care of your children? Definitely not. It doesn't mean that you're going to suffer your children. I love my children. But you need to understand that these children in 18, 19 years, they will be, by 18, they are off to college. From there, they get a job, they move out of your house. You are left with your spouse. Some of you are focusing too much. You are not building relationships with your spouses. You have so focused on your children that you and your husband are living in your house as strangers. You barely talk. You barely make time for anything. You barely go out on dates. All because children. These children are going to live. Am I not in my husband's house? Have I not left my own mother and father's house? No. Am I not in my house? Are you not in your husband's house? Are you and your wife not living together? Have you not moved out? Where are your parents? Did they follow you? So imagine that you spend 18 years of your life focusing on only your children, neglecting your relationship with your spouse. What is going to happen when those children move out? What is going to happen? Prioritize your relationship with your husband. Prioritize your relationship with your wife. It is very important. Scale of preference. This is where your spouse is. Next up is your children. You're going to love your children. You're going to care for them. You're going to work hard and give them the best. But they do not come before your spouse. Because that is the person you're going to spend forever with. And that's what I have learned in 10 years. My husband comes before my children. If you like, say I'm not a good mom, I don't really care. But I'm just telling you, your husband or your wife comes before your children. Prioritize that relationship. Build it now. You can't neglect that relationship for 18 years. Then when the children move out, you now want to try and be building. It might be too late by then. And when there's emotional neglect in a home, in a marriage, it allows, like the man or the woman can start to look out to fill that void. Okay, so please, your children are there to bind you together. I spoke about it in the other video for singles. Your children are there to bind you together. They are not here to separate you. Okay, when you have children, your children don't have to sleep on the bed. That's what baby cots are for. That's why I like when you both people, you put the child in the room, put camera, you wake up and look at the child. They don't used to co-sleep. In short, like from experience, giving birth, my first child, I gave birth, when I had my first child, I remember in the hospital, they were asking me, does she have a cot? Does she have a place that she's going to sleep? Yes. And because my child was a bit small, they still, and she had to stay in the NICU. They still had to come and check her up when we are home. So they even looked, does she have a cot? Does she have a bassinet? These are some of the things they will ask you if you are giving birth abroad. Does she have where she will stay? Because they don't expect that your baby will be sleeping in between you and your spouse. It doesn't add up. Keep your child in a cot. Nothing will happen to the child. I promise you. Since people have been keeping children inside cots, nothing has happened to this child. I'm telling you. Keep your child inside cot. You and your husband should sleep together on the same bed. Locks. Your husband should not move out of the room. You two don't move out of the room with your child because you gave birth. Your children are there to bind you together, to bring you together. They are not there to separate you. I have had to learn this one. My husband does not even like children sleeping in our middle. So I do not even usually have choice. I just keep the baby in the cot. If you can, personally, the cot is in my room, right? So it's not like anything. Like if the baby wakes up in the night, I carry the baby. But if you can even go further and keep the baby separately, if that works for you people, fine. But personally, I just used to have the baby by my side in a cot or in a bassinet. Your children are there to bring you together. They're not there to divide you. So please make sure that as you are having children, you are not allowing it to come between you and your husband. Number 3 thing is always be on guard. God. Don't lose guard. Don't lose guard. The Bible says that guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. Always be on guard. You see when you read people's story and they will just be like, oh, we just started chatting. It's just a colleague. We started chatting. It was very innocent. Before you know it, affair. Before you know it, affair. Always be on guard. Marriage is not anybody can fall. Anybody can fall. And that's why people will tell you that you cannot have a best friend that is a boy as a married woman. You cannot have a best friend that is a girl as a married woman. Why? Your wife should be your best friend. Your husband should be your best friend. Yes, I said what I said. Guys, don't lose guard. There's nothing like marriage is now the reason why, because you are married, they will not be tempted. Because you are married, rather, they will not be temptation. That's when the devil wants to even tempt you the more. And I want to share like a personal experience. I have a friend, person is still my friend. There was a time that all of a sudden, we just started chatting a lot, video calling. It all started innocently. Honestly, it was all innocent. Like he's a friend. They're just chatting, just even my husband knows this person. I started to feel a certain kind of way towards this person. I'm like, is this feelings that is wanting to develop? And now this is what I will give you as a married person. Let me tell you, sin thrives in secrecy. Sin thrives in secrecy. Have you ever wondered why when you see someone that is cheating, they are deleting their chat, they are doing all this? They're trying to keep it secret. When they want to go and meet in the night, they'll go and meet in one hotel. One person will first enter 10 minutes before. And sin thrives with secrecy. The minute you bring it to the light, it's over. So the minute I started to feel like, is this feelings that is trying to form? I sat my husband down and I told him, he knew the person. I said, I think I'm starting, or I think I want to have feelings for XYZ person. Guys, obviously when my husband, how did it happen? What happened? Is there something I'm not doing wrong? Is there not something I'm doing right? See, let me tell you something. Marriage is not an antidote that you cannot fall into these things. That's why you cannot lose guard. Since that day, I don't used to gist with anybody. I know to the gist. I don't even have any male friends like that. I know to the gist with another person. I gist with my husband. I'm always on my guard. I'm always trying to keep watch. Obviously with the help of the Holy Spirit. Don't lose guard. I told my husband, back to the story, I told my husband, obviously he's like, I just said that we used to talk a lot, blah, blah, blah. He's like, where? I'm like, maybe I'm at work. It's not like person and I were working together. I was just like, we usually talk at work and everything, video calls here and there. It's not like the person does not know I'm married. The person did not toast me, nothing. It's just that we started talking so much. We're not talking about anything, dating or anything, just gisting. And while I'm at work, I'm working. My husband is working now. He's not calling me. Do you understand? So you can see where the feelings can start to form when you just, all of a sudden, there's somebody that has your time every minute of the day, calling you non-stop for hours. You can gist for like 2-3 hours in the office. Meanwhile, your husband has just checked up on you once in a day. And just say, oh, how are you? What's so possible? I just say I should say hi, and that's the end. Because he's obviously working too. It's not like anything. So you can understand why when somebody starts giving you attention, why you might just start to feel a certain way. I called him and I told him. He said, okay. So I now told him that. I said, how will we do it? He said, okay. I said, I will reduce I won't be talking to him, blah, blah, blah. We just talked about it, right? This is what we are going to do. But I want to tell you something that immediately I told my husband, guys, it was like a veil was lifted off my face. I don't know how, but it was like a veil was lifted up my face. And I'm like, wait, I wanted to like this person. Like how? And that's how that thing ended. That was how it ended. Guys, I'm still friends with the person. Like, my husband knows the person. Anytime person still calls me once in a while, we talk and gist. My husband even greets him. And he knows. But the person does not know that I wanted to start having feeling. But my husband knows. But he knows that I'm over it. That it was just a little phase. My husband then, every 1 hour, he will call me. How far? How are you? What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, this is very unnatural. I'm like, this is very unnatural. He also started calling me non-stop to check up on me, to do this, to do that. But ever since then, I've learned that, if you don't guard yourself, you go lose guard. Oh. Sin does not tell you when it's going to creep up on you. So don't lose guard. Be on your guard. Stay on your guard. You don't have any reason gisting and video calling and chatting and whatever another man or another woman for hours that is not your husband. I know you are doing it with a clean mind because I was too as a friend. But I can tell you that feelings that can start to creep in like that, feelings can start to creep in like that. And that's how you start comparing your husband or your wife with somebody else. Oh, she's so understanding. Oh, she gives great advice. Oh, she does this. Oh, she does that. Oh, he does this. Oh, he does that. Oh, he calls me 20 times in a day. My husband just checks up on me once. That's how it starts. Don't lose guard. This one, I'm telling you from experience, don't lose guard. Not to they follow another person talk like that. Okay? The number four thing is finances. I talked about it in the other videos. That's why I said you can still work the other one too, even if you are married. So finances, one thing that me and my husband did is have like a financial plan and a financial goal that we work together as a family. See, finances can scatter your home. When Davido sang, when money enter, love is sweeter, he was not lying. I'm not capping you, he wasn't lying. When money enter, love used to be sweeter. Yes, so just have a financial plan and a financial goal. And I'd like to say that as women, it's okay to contribute financially. It's okay to contribute financially. These men, they are, God, these men, they are loaded with so much. Half a time, if you see them just staring, they are thinking about how to make everything work in the house, how to make sure that the children are comfortable, that you're comfortable, that everybody in the house is comfortable. So if you can pitch in, please pitch in. Both of you should work. Both of you should have something that you are doing. But if your husband is like, I don't work, I can take care of it, by all means, okay? Another thing, advice I want to give women is, please, it's okay, be financially independent too. It's very, very important. Just have your own. Have your own. There's something about having your own money that used to stop bullshit. I'm just telling you. There's something about having your money that stops bullshit. There's some things that people cannot try with you just based on the premise where this one is okay. Do you understand? Even in marriage, yes. Because there's syphilis that used to enter marriage that people might want to, your husband might or your wife might want to try you. But just knowing, this one, she dey gallant, she's okay. She can take a stand. It's important. Just have your money. It's important. Even though as you guys build together and save financially, it's important to also have your own money, all right? So like I said, have a financial goal, save and work towards your financial goals as a family. When you get married, your first financial goal might be you want to buy a car. Maybe if you guys don't have a car, or you want to build a house, whatever financial goal it is that you guys have, save towards it. My husband was the one that taught me how to save. I didn't know how to save before I got my shot. When my husband met me, he asked me how much do I have in savings, just generally, because he used to see that I used to go to market every time to buy clothes every month. He said, sorry, do you save? I say, no, I save, but the money is not usually enough. By the time I do, I'll have to go into the savings. I was earning 70,000 then. He told me, you're going to spend 40,000 and you're going to save 30,000. I said, it's not possible. This is obviously more than 10 years ago, because I was just dating him there. I wasn't asking me to give him the money. He was just like, you have to have a savings culture. The first month I did it, and even out of the 40,000, I had 5,000 naira left. I'm like, yes. So save, and your finances are very important. Please, both of you work hand in hand to make sure that financially you guys don't struggle. Okay, if one person is down, the other person should help. Okay, both of you shall work hand in hand. That's number 4. Number 5, forgiveness is a part of marriage. I hear people used to keep malice in marriage, like both of you just be living in the same house, you will not talk to each other. Why? Forgiveness is key in marriage. There's something my husband usually says. He says, don't let the sun go down on your anger. It's in the Bible. But me, I know how to sleep. I know how to sleep. Like, I will sleep even when we fight. My husband will wake me up around 2 a.m. to talk about it. Just like, why? How can you be sleeping? How can you be sleeping when you know you have upset me? When you know you have done this? When you know you have done... But it's very important, guys. Discuss it. And see, marriage, you will forgive. You will forgive me. So I've forgiven things I thought I cannot forgive. I've forgiven things I thought I cannot forgive. You will learn to forgive. You have to learn to forgive. If you are that kind of person that you have issues with forgiveness, please start learning it. Well, in marriage, people will fight. They will keep malice 2 weeks. They will not talk to each other. They will just grudgingly give each other good morning, or they will not even talk, nothing. Forgiveness is part of marriage. In short, it's in the constitution of marriage. Let me just tell you. That's number 4. Number 5, you are not the trauma of your parents' marriage. Your marriage, let me rephrase like that. Your marriage is not the trauma of your parents' marriage. And I think I had to learn this the hard way, because when you come into a marriage and when you're growing up and you see certain things that happened in your parents' marriage, it is easy for you to bring that same trauma into your marriage. And you'll be like, and start to act on those trauma. Be like, my daddy left my mommy. And you'll be using that one to react to your husband. Your marriage is not the trauma of your parents. You can carve a different path for your marriage. It is up to you. And personally, I learned this. I am not the trauma of my parents' marriage. My marriage is not the trauma of my parents' marriage. My marriage is different. My marriage is different. My marriage is different. I am different. My husband is different. I am not my mom. I am not my husband is not my dad. Some of you are seeing your husbands as your dad. You are seeing yourselves as your mom. I am not my mom. I am not my dad. My name is Atinuke. Whatever it is my mom and my dad had to go through in their marriage, it's not going to happen to me. You need to start to tell yourself that. Because there's a way you can bring the trauma of your parents' marriage into your own marriage and start to react. My husband used to tell me, calm down, relax. You are not relaxed in this marriage. Relax. Because it's so bad that me personally, you see me talking about being financially independent as a woman. You see me talking about, you get why. But let's not go into that. You get why. But my husband used to tell me, calm down, relax. Do you understand? It's so bad that, like, my husband can buy a car and you just put like both of us name on the car, and I don't think it's my car, because even if my name is on the document, I don't think it's my car because I didn't put my money to it. Like, anything I do not put my money inside, I just feel like it's not my own. Yes. Like, even if my husband puts my name alone on the car and say, this is your car, I do used to feel like it's mine as long as it's not my own money that bought it. And he had to take me, like, to just go back and check, like, why do I feel this certain way? Why do I feel like my husband's own things are not my things? Two have become one. Why do I feel like my husband? And, when I just went back, I could see why. You are not the trauma of your parents. I've had to learn it. And, it took me like 7 years to learn this, to ease in. My husband is always, as in, I don't want to have to fall back on anybody. I don't want to have to depend on anybody, even my husband. I don't want to have to. Financially, no, I don't want to have to. But my husband tells me, relax. You can depend on me, relax. I know you work and you do this and that, but relax. You can depend on me. I've relaxed, but I not to relax too much, but I'm obviously better. Just learning that my husband is not my father. My mother is not me. I am a different person. And my marriage is going to be different from the marriage of my parents. Just learning that, just coming to that light enough is victory, okay? Is victory for me. So you are not the trauma of your parents' marriage. Your father used to beat your mother. He used to cheat on your mother. So you come with that trauma and start reacting. Every time you are checking your husband's phone, looking for who is cheating. One day as a man say it in his heart, so he is. When you are expecting evil to happen, do you get? Start to expect good out of your marriage. Start to expect good out of your husband. Don't expect the worst from your husband because you saw the worst from your father or you saw the worst from your mother. You will now expect that that's the same thing that's going to happen to you. That's not going to happen to you. You have been bought with a price. Your marriage has been redeemed and everything about you has been redeemed by the blood of Jesus. So I have learned, I'm not my mother, I'm not my father, I'm not the trauma of my parents. My marriage is different. My marriage is going to succeed. Yes. So tell it to yourself to stop expecting bad and start expecting good out of your marriage, out of your spouse. Okay? So that's our number 5 point. Number 6, settle your quarrels internally. Some of you, any small thing, you have called your parents to report your husband. You have called your parents to report your wife. Kidote, why? I said I was going to be very in-depth too. Why? Don't you know that your parents are going to see your spouse in a very negative light? You people will settle internally, but outside, they are seeing your husband as a bad person. Why? anything your husband does, as there are some cases that obviously you have to escalate to. Me, I'm not like, I don't know how to hide nonsense. There are some cases that you have to just escalate, let everybody hear. His mother, his father, everybody, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, everybody must hear. But there are some things, your husband does one small thing, you have carried phone, you have reports. Then my husband, he doesn't report me to his mom. His mom is late now, but he didn't used to report me to his mom. Instead, he used to call my mom. Because he tells me that why he does that is because my mom can never see me in a bad light. But that even though his mom loves me, if he starts reporting me to her, it's just a matter of time. She'll be looking at me somehow and be like a person that is disturbing my son. So he used to report me to my mom. But even at that, I told him, stop reporting me. We have to learn to settle our things internally. Everybody must not know everything that is happening in our house. Please learn to settle your fights internally. Okay? If not, you'll become gist. You'll become a sermon. You don't know where they will carry your stories to. Oh, God. Okay, that's number 6. Number 7, pray together. 1, we chase 1,000. 2, we chase 10,000. Apart from, I have my own personal time of devotion. My husband has his personal time of devotion, but we always come together to pray as a family with our children. We pray together. We pray about our shared goals, our shared visions, whatever it is we're trusting God for. We pray together about it. Then obviously you have your own personal things that you're trusting God for in your personal time of devotion. Pray about that. Pray together. There's nothing like I'm the prayer warrior. Please, can I also talk to men? Do you guys know that you are the priest over your house? See, one time I told my husband, I told him, I say, when I want to start my prayer, first and foremost, these children are little. So my first obligation, they cannot pray for themselves. I have to stand in the gap for them because they cannot pray. Right? I know I said spouse, children. But when prayer, these children cannot pray for themselves. I have 3 children. By the time I list one, I start from one, pray over that one, pray over second one, pray over third one. Children of God, by the time I even reach my own turn, I'm tired. I just begin to do plus Jesus minus Satan. Then pray for my husband. One day I called my husband. I said, my husband prays. It's not like he doesn't pray. But I called my husband. I was telling my husband that by the time I finish praying for these children, my husband said something like, maybe I wasn't praying. He said, I used to pray for me now. He's like, cannot pray for me where? Nibo. Where? You mean you are not? See. Men, you are the priest over your home. Please. You are the person that is supposed to take charge and like stand in the gap. Ever since that day, Baba adjusted. I just talked to him. I was like, what do you mean by that? After I finished praying for these 3 children, I pray for you. Obviously, I pray for my spouse in my personal time of devotion. But as a man, you are the priest over your home. Please lead your family in prayer. You are the person that's going to lead. That family prayer time is very important. And also stand in the gap. In your own personal time of devotion, stand in the gap for your wife, stand in the gap for your children. It's not only the wife's job to be standing in the gap. Okay? Men, you are the priest over your home. It's not only the wife. Because I feel like in this generation, a lot of people have left prayer for their wives. It's the wife's job. It's not the wife's job to be praying alone. Let me just tell you that one. So guys, I think I've been missing the numbers, but I'm going to write each of them on the screen so I know which one is number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, so that was number 8 that we just finished. Pray together. Number 9, your marriage is not gist. Some of you, it's too much. It's too much. You talk too much. Shut up. Your marriage is not gist. Some of you have turned your marriage to gist. Some of you now even have a club of people to where you go and be saying all the things that your husband did to you. My husband did this one. My husband too. You talk too much. Your marriage is not gist. Your marriage is not gist. I'm not saying that you cannot have somebody that you talk to about some of the things you are going through, but some of you talk anywhere. Anywhere, anybody, you have opened your mouth, you have talked everything about your marriage. Even the good things that are happening in your marriage, it's not, you talk too much. Quiet. You talk too much. And that's why you invite unnecessary things to come and look for you where you are sitting. You talk too much. You don't even know the one to say. Oh, my husband did this for me. My husband did that for me. Even the good things. It's not everything you must say. Be quiet. You talk too much. That's one of the things I've learned. Yes, you can. There can have people that you tell gist to about your marriage, but you can't be telling everybody. Even the wrong things that your husband is doing to you, you can't can't be telling everybody, even the things that you don't like. You can't be telling everybody. You talk too much. People have turned their marriage to gist, though. Like there's nobody that doesn't know what's happening in their family. Is your marriage gist? Why will your marriage be gist? I've had to learn it too. And even amongst your family members, obviously there's some things I tell that I gist, but they are very superficial. Like they are so superficial. Like, see what my husband did today. We just laugh about it. They are really superficial. They are not deep things. There's some things that are not up for discussion. You talk too much. Quiet. Keep quiet. Talk too much. That's number 9. Your marriage is not gist. Your marriage is not gist. I'm not saying that your husband should be doing something that is so bad. You should keep it to yourself. Like I said, there are scenarios where you just have to escalate. Me, I know how to escalate. I'd have called my mother, call everybody, call his sister, I will call everybody on your head. But like, if it's not that serious, if it's not a big deal, why do you have to turn everything to gist? And even I'm saying that even the good things, keep it. That you did not share it with the whole world does not mean that it's not happening. Okay, your marriage is not gist. Even the things that your husband is doing that you don't like. Obviously, we all have people that we gist with and we talk to, but it cannot be everybody that you will just tell anything that is happening in your marriage. No, now, where is the privacy? No matter how close you are, where is the privacy? I hear some people are even gisting about how they and their partners have sex. You'll be gisting. Why? I hear people like gist about the intimacy in their marriage, how they do it, the things they do. They gist their friends. Why? Is too much. It's too much. Some of you have turned marriage to. Your marriage is not a gist. Your marriage is not gist. Yes, you can talk about some things. Like I gist my friends about my husband, but there's some things we don't just gist about. Why? Why is your marriage gist? Why does everybody know what is happening in your marriage? Yes, like I said, you can have somebody that you talk to. I'm not saying you cannot have a friend that you trust that you can talk to about these things. However, some of you don't even know where to stop. All your friends, all your acquaintances, they know everything about your husband. They know everything about your spouse. Kilode. Why? Your marriage is not gist, please. Your marriage can never ever be gist. Then learn to fem. Keep quiet. Even the good things your husband does for you, it's not everybody you can tell. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Yes, I said what I said. Number 10, and that's our final point, is intentionality. I think I talked about it in the other, when I was talking about the single ladies. But if you need intentionality as a criteria for you to marry a person, you need double intentionality to sustain your marriage. Marriage will test you. Marriage will humble you. Marriage, that your shoulder that you are carrying up like this, marriage will help you structure it well, to test you. And what I've learned is that both of you have to just be intentional about making your marriage work. You have to be intentional about making your marriage work. Can I also add here, apart from intentionality, I think I talked about it so much in the other video. I don't want to dwell so much on it. But I want to also add, I want to talk about submission as the final point, as my bonus point, submission in marriage. I think I had an issue with submission. At least my husband says I think I'm better, an issue with submission. Again, I'd said that getting into the marriage, I didn't necessarily balance too well. Just because of my background and where I'm coming from. So yeah, there's that. So submission was not, and the way people paint submission these days is like your husband will say shut up, you will sit down. Well, I think that was the submission that we saw growing up. Although I don't think I saw that growing up. I don't think I saw that kind of submission growing up, but I think that's what a lot of people, that was portrayed in a lot of homes, African homes growing up, that was what was portrayed. It is easier for you to submit to a man that fears the Lord. it is easier for you to submit to a man that fears the Lord. And if you struggle with submission, whether your husband is God-fearing or not, if you struggle with submission, ask the Holy Spirit to help you. Like I said, it's easier if the man fears the Lord because he is working according to the will of God. Do you understand? As a person, when I want to do something that is wrong, or not when I want to do something that is wrong, there's some things that even if the thought crosses my mind to do, I ask myself, what will I tell God is the reason I did this thing? Like, how will I go before God and say I did X, Y, Z? And that thing, and just that fear of God holds me back, puts me in check. That's why I said it is easy for you to submit to a man that fears God. Because even me as a person, the fear of God puts me in check. There are some things that if I think about it, I'm like, why will I do this? I'm not doing it. I'm not wanting to do it because of my spouse. I'm not going to do it because of God. So, example, case in point, when I started feeling a certain way, I'm like, I don't want to sin against God. I don't want this thing to become something else. This is how affairs start. Before you know it, you are getting feelings. Before you know it, both of you are finding a place to meet up in one place. And now that I think about it, the person had cracked a joke once to say, oh, I know you like me, if not that you are married. Now that I think about it, and I just said, what rubbish, likes you, you know how we girls, what nonsense, that's how I did. But then I think I started to feel a certain way towards this person. That's how sin starts. Before you know it, you have found yourself in a hotel room doing what you should not be doing. However, when I saw that thing was getting there, Muriel confessed sin. I've not yet sinned actually, Sha. I opened my mouth and told my husband, this is what it is. This is what it is. And from that day, I learned that sin thrives with secrecy. The minute you open your mouth and you bring it to light, it can't thrive. It can never thrive. Do you understand? So what made me open my mouth to tell my husband was not fear of my husband, was not saying I love my husband so much, was I don't want to sin against God. What will I tell God? That I had an affair? Never. God forbid. So it is easy to submit to a man that fears God. Honestly, that's what I've learned about submission. Because the man is doing something, is walking along with God and is doing things according to the principles of God. Why would you submit to that man? No, why would you as a woman submit to that man? So if you're a man and you're watching this, it's easy for your wife to, if your wife is having issues with submission, have you submitted yourself to God? Submit yourself to God. It's easy for somebody to now submit themselves under you. Do you understand? But whether we like it or not, leave man is working according to the fear of God or not. My mic is red. I need to end the video very soon. Okay, so I need to me 10%. Leave all those ones. As a woman, submission is important, but submission is not control. Submission is not dictatorship. No. Because I feel like a lot of men have mistaken submission for control. Please, God did not say that you should. It's not a dictatorship thing. God did not say that you should submit yourself to be controlled. Do you understand? Because your husband is like the priest and the head of the house, and he's the one that is supposed to have like the driving, that is supposed to drive the home. You cannot have two drivers in a car. That's why God is asking you to submit. God is not asking you to let your husband control you. Control you like women that work and carry the salary and put in their husband's house hand and say submission, and they will not have anything. Hold short. Let's not even get into all those. That's control. Okay? So as a woman, you should submit. And what I've learned in marriage is that it's easy to submit somebody that fears God, that is working according to the principles of God. And that's why, as much as possible, you and your partner should try and grow together in this faith. Go to church, join the workforce, read your Bible. Encourage your spouse. If you are doing better spiritually, encourage your spouse. I've not seen you read your Bible this week. What happened? Is it that you read it when I was sleeping? I just show little jabs, okay? So that's all I have to share. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions to ask me in the comments. Okay, I really hope this video has been insightful and that it has been helpful. I know that I mixed up like the numbering, but I'm going to list everything on the screen. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you have any married friend or anybody that is planning to get married that you think this video is going to help, can you do me a favor and share it with them? Okay, share it with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Stay blessed. Bye.